I wanted to do a follow-up because of yesterday. Okay, hang on a second. I'm going to go and make myself a fresh cup of tea and let everybody watch their ads and get everybody coming in because I kind of sprung this on you. All right. So I'm going to go make a cup of tea. I'm going to be gone 5 minutes. Okay. So in the meantime, everybody just come on in and say hi to each other and I'll be back in 5 minutes. Okay. Somebody's asleep on their blanket behind my thing. She's not doing well, and I don't want to talk about it, but she's near mommy. cover you up with one of Daddy's shirts? Me? I just covered her up with one of Howie's shirts. She's laying on her paw print blanket. She has not eaten. I'm no longer, and somebody made a point to me. All right, let's just pop out the chat and give everybody a chance to come on in. And I was almost right on the money. I can't get her to eat anymore. That's not necessarily true. I couldn't get her to eat yesterday. And then you'll see the video tomorrow. The video is, if anybody remembers who could forget, the grocery parcel that Rebecca sent me. And there were 2 little pork roasts in it. And I made a pork roast. I didn't do a video, but I did a video with a leftover makeover meal. And it's tomorrow. Well, what ended up happening was Gracie wouldn't eat, but I had given her pills. And then once the pills kick in, I might be able to coax her to eat. Now, I'm not forcing it on her anymore, because if she is passing, somebody pointed out to me, if she is passing, she's not, feeding her is not going to make it easier. It's going to make it harder. Right? I don't know how to rephrase that. But anyway, I'm here to apologize for yesterday. I was in a highly agitated emotional state. And it's kind of like my pimple popped. I was a pimple that popped. I mean, the last 13 months have just been hell. And, we're just going to have to deal with stuff as it comes. I mean, I don't recognize the world. I don't recognize my country right now. I don't recognize people anymore. This is insane. Doesn't anybody, I wanted to go live on Rumble, and I was going to go live on Rumble, but it only lets you see this much of my face. I haven't figured it out yet. Just have water available. Oh, always. Always. She has what? But when we sat down to eat our supper last night, the leftover makeover meal, she ate. Now we had a half a pork roast, which was about 3 inches thick, solid, no bone, no fat, no nothing. And I cut that up and I made a leftover makeover meal. Well, Howie and I might have had 2 little pieces each. She ate all of our pork. So she is eating sometimes, but I can't force it on her anymore. Because when I went to put food in her mouth this morning to give her pills, and all I do is I stick my finger on her upper lip and I go like, and she opens her mouth. And then when I put the food in it, I just gently do this. I don't shove it shut. I just hold it. And when I went to open her mouth to give her canned food yesterday, she yiped. So it's like, okay, I'm getting all my clues from her. Okay. And it is what it is. I just knocked something off my thing. It is what it is. And as far as my political rants yesterday, I'm still kerflummoxed. I don't understand how a man the Canadian people did not elect is stepping into the shoes of the prime minister because the party thinks he's the best job. If people think that life is normal right now, then they're a part of the problem. You know what I mean? So, everybody say hi while I go behind the fan. I'm going to give you a quick look. Can you see? Oops. Can't quite see. She's tucked behind there. You see her on her paw print blanket, and she's got one of Daddy's flannel shirts on her. And because she just wants to be near Mom, and I get it. But the more clingy she gets to me, the more worried I get, because I'm not the one she wants. I'm the one who's been forcing stuff on her, and she's been like walking away from me. You know what I mean? All righty, all righty. So yeah, I was in an extremely emotional place yesterday. The world and everything in it seems to have turned upside down and backwards. And people are acting as if this is normal. Ugh. Okay. All right. I'm going to go behind the fan for a minute. Has everybody finished saying hello? So, you're getting a leftover makeover meal tomorrow. And tonight I am making meatloaf, and I'm making several because I bought that big flat of hamburger and I had froze the other flat of hamburger. So what's coming up is you're getting a leftover makeover meal tomorrow. And I'm making a video kind of two for tonight. One for cooking, one for eating, one for freezing. That's tonight, but that's not going to be for a couple of days. And then I'm going to take the other big pack of ground beef along with the extra lean hay-fed package of beef I have left. And then I'm going to make a bunch of meatballs and stuff for the freezer. So you're going to have some live work in the kitchen the next couple of days. What are we talking about, Renita? My insurance pays for my ride to my doctor's appointment. A man, Sergio, picked me up. He was in a mood, so I was quiet. He started driving and passed gas. And then he turned on Mexican music real loud. I asked him to turn it down, and he stopped the car and said I was a racist and took me back home. What? They'll use that shit for any excuse. Some people will use that. The word racist, I don't even think anybody even knows what it means anymore. They just use it. You know what I mean? All right, let me pop out the participants list and say hello to Annette Graff, Black Rock Kimmy. Hey, Seashell. Darlene Smith. Hey, Happy Guy Jack. Joe Mama, I'm glad you're here today. Lena K. Linda McDonough. Now, did I get it right? McDonough? Lisa Allen, Lori M., Phoebe Long, Renita Madrid, Robin Williams, Sandra Volmar, Sherry Leach, and Wild Edibles. How's everybody doing today? Hey, Flavina in Black Rock. What? I'm missing something here. Good to get that emotion out. Well, yeah. I got it perfect, McDonough. Well, you only have to look at my face and my skin color, my eye color, and where I live to know that, I got British heritage, right? It's warming up now in North. It's warming up here too. The eaves have been dripping and things have been melting, and it's just, everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. So I have a lot of things coming up. Not a lot of things. I'm making a video tonight. And I'm making a video tomorrow. And I don't know what else is going on. I'm not planting anything else right now. Oh, by the way, my San Marzano tomato plants, they're growing faster than the Manitobas. And I want to know why. You need an email address. Well, there, Seashell gave it to you, honey. Our snow has all melted, but it's going to get nasty on Saturday here. Ooh. Yeah. So, I just kind of wanted to pop in, and because I watched that video last night. I watched the live stream. That thing was like 2 hours long. And I I watched it as if I was somebody else, and I got really emotional. Just I couldn't watch the whole thing. I could not watch the whole thing. Right? Baby's gonna do. Oh, I forgot. I flipped. I had a little mental trip there. So we know what's coming, and we know that when it's done, over and done with, there'll be a video. There'll be a video. But I've already accepted. I've already said goodbye, and I've given her permission to pass. And so has Howie. And we're staying close, and we're just giving her all the love we can and all the pain relief we can. At this point, it doesn't matter if the pain relief does damage, in the sense where it's not necessarily good to be taking pain meds on an empty stomach, but at this point, there's no doubt in what's going on. So therefore, we just want her to be as comfortable as possible. So tonight, when I make double meatloaves, you know she's going to get meatloaf for supper. Yes, Phoebe. Yes, Phoebe. She's 9 years old, and she's in a lot of pain. And we spent $1,000. I explained this yesterday, but I'm going to do a quick run through. We spent $1,000 at the vet. To be told she doesn't have Lyme's disease and she doesn't have pancreatitis. I'm not going to spend another $1,000 to confirm what I already think I know, which is that she has cancer. She started developing lumps when she was like 6 months old, just little external growths. But when she got the one under the skin of her armpit, oh, Sherry, you didn't have to do that, darling. But thank you. Now, do you want a card, sweetheart? I forgot I set a goal, didn't I? Would you like a card, Sherry? I should get them out, eh? And smudge them. Yes, I've come to terms with it. Yes, I will have grief. There's nothing more really to talk about. I've got one deck out. Just making people aware of the goal. A card would be nice. Well, I've got out my my spirit animal cards. I think it's appropriate, right? And yes, I will give you I will absolutely do a reading. Now, if you want to know what your spirit animal is, that has to be a specific question when you give me a tip. If you want to know what your spirit animal is, your spirit animal guide is, okay, then you have to be specific when you ask that question. You don't just say give me a card. You if you want your spirit animal, then you ask, and it will, be made known to you. I have a lot of things that I can put on Gracie's channel, Jack. Okay? I do. That channel will always be there. Right? I've got tons and tons and tons of footage. Don't you worry about it. Whoa! Oh my goodness. Sherry, you got the Penguin. And it's telling you to reach out to your tribe in times of need. Family gives you strength when you face the storm. Love your uniqueness. You are full of surprises. Break free from others' expectations. Just be yourself. Now, I got to say that it's saying family gives you strength when you face the storm. And I'm going to say that there's something going on in your family, Sherry, that there's somebody. You're not necessarily getting the family support when you've reached out. You're not necessarily getting support. You've gotten support, but not all of the family not all of your family is willing to support you. That's what I'm getting, Sherry. I'm really sorry to hear that. You'd like to know what your spirit animal is, Sherry? Okay, well, then I'm going to flip this again because that's a direct question. What is Sherry Leach's spirit animal? You got two. So one I'm going to say is your spirit guide, and the other one I'm going to say is your actual spirit animal. Your spirit animal is what represents you in the animal world. Your spirit animal guide is what you need to, is when you need to pay attention. When you see your spirit animal guide, you stop, you look, you listen, you turn your look inwardly. Okay. This is your spirit animal. Okay, Sherry? The swan, you who glides across the waters of my soul. Bring me your wisdom and light. Help me transform into elegance and grace. Inspire me with dignity and the spirit of beauty. So what I'm getting here is you're still in your ugly duckling phase, and at this point in your life, you need to embrace your swan. Okay, Sherry? You are a swan. You are beautiful inside and out and so graceful. You just don't see it. That's you. Your spirit guide is the raven. Raven, the shaman. You are the creator and magician. Use your gifts for good. There is power in your wisdom and words. Connect with the elemental spirits, and glide through the void. Claim your place as keeper of the mysteries. So here's what I'm getting, is that you are graceful. You are wonderful. You are loving. You just don't see your own beauty. Okay? Listen to the raven. And there is a difference between the raven. You notice that raven's got a hooked bill, and he's got some kind of fur up here on his beak. And ravens go, they caw, they croak, where crows caw. So no, whenever you see a raven, Sherry, pay attention to what's going on around you. Turn your gaze inward. Take some deep breaths and meditate on what they're trying to tell you. Whoo! Hey, Jolie. Hey, would you like a card and what would you like? You should have wrote it right in the thing when you gave the tip, and thank you very much. You should have put in there, I'd like to know what my spirit animal is. That's okay. Laura's up. Hey. What's going on? What's going on, Lori? What are we talking about? Okay, I'm not sure I understand what's going on or why Jazzy needs to be blocked when she's just talking about real estate. Okay, Phoebe, I didn't, Jolie, sorry. Card, please. Spirit animal. Okay. Jolie's garden wants to know what her spirit animal is. Oh, you got the hummingbird. Now, let me know if this resonates with you, okay? Hummingbird are miracles. Did you know the hummingbird, and that's not on the card, did you know the hummingbird is the only bird that can fly backwards? You are the joy bringer, Jolie. You bless the world with positivity and love, and don't snort. I heard that. I heard some kind of, yeah, right, or, right? You bless the world with positivity and love. Energy soars on your shining wings. Spread the miracle of happiness. Now, this is what we got to talk about here, folks. This is what I was talking about yesterday. We have been brainwashed into seeing ourselves as the controllers of the elites and all. We have been brainwashed to believe that we don't have any joy to give, that we don't have anything to be happy about. Okay? Yeah, it's a really mad world out there. But what we need to do is, as usual, or as always, oh, look at the morning glory flower. I love morning glories. What we need to do is we need to stop. It's getting worse. We're being battered with bullcrap all over media, social media, and everything else. We're being battered by it. By the way, I'm on Discord, Mrs. Wolfie 64. Capital M, capital V, number 64. So when I heard you snort, we're hearing this, and we've been brainwashed for so long into believing that we are just lumps of flesh that are powerless over our own destinies. And that's not true. That's what they want us to think. Oh, Jolie, you give so much happiness and you don't even realize it. Folks, focus on the joy. Focus on the beauty. Focus on everything but what's going on in the media, social and otherwise. Jolie, bring it. Ah, well, there you go. They're your spirit animal. Hey, Matt. Birds and chipmunks and squirrels and me too. Me too. I've been dreaming about them. That's so weird, because I just had a little flash in my brain. You know how you get a little flash, like, where did I see that? It was in my dreams. So how you doing, Matt? Yeah, I take it Linda is off. She said she wasn't going to be home for a bit. So anyway, yeah, yesterday was a really raw day. And I'm sorry I emotionally vomited all over everybody, and that I kind of raged like a bit of a lunatic over politics and stuff. But I'm only human. I can't look at news right now. I can't. I see Mark Carney's face, and all I see is horns. It is the weirdest thing, right? Like, whenever I'd see Trudeau's face, I'd see a thumb-sucking, empty-headed toddler with a diaper full of shit. Carney, I see horns. And what's worse is I see people believing him. And that's really scary. We need an election. We shouldn't have a prime minister that the country didn't elect, right? Well, I think maybe that's what you're supposed to do, Jolie. I think that's what you're supposed to find your joy again. Find your joy. It doesn't have to be spectacular. It just maybe it could be a moment of absolute contentment. No pain. Nothing's wrong in the world, and everything is as it should be. Own that moment. Okay? put it down in there, percolate it, and bring it back up with some joy. You know what I mean? Uh-oh. Starmer over here, exactly the same wolf in sheep's clothing. Where's that, Cal? Oh, that's okay, sweetheart. I know you didn't mean to shout. Well, this is what I've been thinking. You know, I watch 2 programs. 2. And one is a reality show, which is actually a reality show. It's called 24 Hours in the A&E. It's on BritBox on Prime. And I watch Blue Bloods. I'm in season 5 of Blue Bloods because I just happen to be a huge Tom Selleck fan, and I don't know why I never watched it before. So it's not reality. Hey, Laura, can I get a card, Spirit Animal? It's been a rough week. Okay. I love Blue Blood. And you know what? It's kind of like, I said to Howie, he said, he said, Bev, it's so predictable. You could have written this. I said, maybe that's what I like about it. It's like Little House on the Prairie, but in modern times. It's about family. It's about values. It's about right and wrong. You know what I mean? And I just, you know, when they sit down and they have dinner, wow, I'd like to sit down at some of those dinners. Okay. This is for Laura Supp. Whoa, that flew out of the way. Okay. Okay. Humpback Whale, the singer. Now, what I'm getting before I read the card is that I don't hear singing. I hear an exchange of information, because that's how whales exchange information, right? You absolutely love music. Why do I get the feeling you haven't got very many musical bones in your body to actually act out with? But sing healing songs for the world. Are you getting what's going on with this deck today? It's all about healing vibrations, love, and connecting with the planet and our animal counterparts. Okay. Humpback Whale. Sing healing songs for the world. Sing a song. Your inner navigation always guides you, Laura. Nothing can stop you or keep you from your goal. Align with your purpose and the power in your soul. So you got something going on, and you've got some big decisions to make. But what you need to do is you need to sit down and not necessarily do pros and cons, but honestly, sit in a really quiet place. Light a couple of candles. You know, no music, no nothing, just quiet. And meditate, and the answers will come. The answers will come, and they will burst through the water like a whale. And you will know the answer, because it's going to come out of you like a whale coming out of the water. Does that make sense? You know how they go, and when that happens, you have to share how you got there, because somebody else near you needs to hear it, needs to hear your song of love and survival and moving forward is what I'm getting. Whoa. I don't know who this is for, but it's the cat. I kind of I think I know who this is for, Joe Mama. Cat. Independent. Okay, but honestly, this could be for anybody. You are a natural healer. Yes, you are. Your intuition is strong. You don't have to go with the crowd. Life supports you in every way. And I know it doesn't feel like that right now. It feels like only your cat's supporting you. Okay? And and you don't feel like you're moving very far with healing. But guess what? When you, dogs are doorbells, ding dong, you press the button, you call their name, and they're like ready to go. Cats are like, leave a message, I'll get back to you later. So this is something you have to percolate on, because it doesn't feel like you're a healer. But sometimes you have to remember that some things are not meant to be healed. Some things need to go on to a natural death. I didn't mean that to come out the way it did. I meant when it comes to turbulence, and somebody's having a real difficult time seeing the healer in themselves, because it feels like they're fighting a losing battle. But that's not their problem or their fight. Their point of healing right now is to give love and support and gentle arms and love of transition. I think this is for me. It's a patience thing, right? And I don't want to die. I'm so tired. What's going on, Nina? Why are you physically and mentally weak, sweetheart? Like, that's what I need to know. Why are you so physically weak? Have you got a long-term illness? Have you got a long-term illness? Are you battling a terminal illness? Okay. We need the kidney cancer spread to my lung and liver. Wow. Is there a prognosis? Is there a time they've given you? Because remember, if they give you 6 months, you could live 6 years, right? Lung and liver. Wow. And kidneys. Oh, honey. You do know that dying isn't the end, eh? They won't treat it. Have you been doing have you been drinking room temperature water with a bit of baking soda in it to help the pH of your kidneys? I am not a doctor. I don't know these things, but I do have a cousin who's been at kidneys with 6% and 13% for years. Okay. Hey, Angie. Listen to Joe Mama. They gave her Scott 6 months and it's 4 years later. So here's the thing, Nina. Okay? Do you believe them? And why don't they want to give you treatment? And is there alternatives you can go to? Never say never. But if you are, I'm hearing you say you don't want to die, and yet you're tired. Guess what? When the time comes, honey, it's not that you're going to want to die, because that sounds horrible. But it does mean that eventually, when you are ready, you will surrender to it and you will be fine. It's everybody else around you. But if you're not meant to go, you won't. You fight but if you're too tired to fight, then you work on acceptance. Because acceptance is the key to everything that plagues you. Okay? Sometimes we just have to look deep within ourselves and accept what we can't change. Change what we can, and try and work really hard at understanding the difference. It would take me sooner. It isn't frightful, it's very peaceful. I want to spend more time with my 5-year-old grandson. Oh, God, darling. And does he live far away? And, maybe you could do FaceTime. I'm suffering from that right now because my son's phone isn't working properly. So I can't have FaceTime with my grandson. And I'm missing him horribly. And Easter is when we're planning on going down. Howie's not planning on it. I am. But we're going to go down on Easter weekend, that I think. And it's a long time away for me. It's a long time away. Exactly. Find the things that give you peace and give you joy. And when the time comes, you won't be afraid. And you will know. You will know. You will have all the answers, and we'll be the ones left wondering. And you're going to be smiling at us and saying, it's okay, folks, I got this. Right? It's not until it happens that we go, oh, is that what it was? Right? Never, ever, ever, ever fear dying, because we have been taught that because the body is dead, that life is over. Life is energy. Energy is your life force. That never, ever dies. Only the receptacle that holds it goes away. So really, you're never going to die. You're just going to leave your receptacle behind, right? I've been told I had 5% chance of surviving spinal meningitis. That was 25 years ago. I also had emergency surgery with a 30% chance of survival. That was 16 years ago. Fight for every moment until you don't want to fight anymore. Right? Exactly. If you don't want to die, then fight. I promise you, if it is your time to go, you will have that indication and you will let go. But if you don't want to go and you've got fight and there's chances, then you fight, darling. Fight. Okay? And, have yourself a 30-ounce or 36-ounce bottle of room temperature water and put a half a teaspoon of baking soda in it. I've heard that helps with the pH levels of your kidneys, and lemon in the water as well. There's not much you can do, but you can make yourself more comfortable, and you can fight, right? You gotta fight for your right to party. So, hi. Joan, thank you, darling. What are you doing? Oh, Jack. You're going to get it someday. Jack, I understand that not everybody gets you. But what people don't know is that Jack is 15 and he's autistic. And he has a very straightforward way of talking that sometimes freaks people out. It's just Jack. Jack cuts the crap. He goes from A to B without a whole lot of stuff. And there's not a lot of filter. So it's okay. But we look after Jack while we're in live chat. We don't let anybody, worry him, right? I made that promise to his mom. Psalm 139, Nina. My family calls me Nina. Oh. Red Mill baking soda is natural baking soda. There you go. Right? There's always something you can do, even if it's a refusal to give up. A refusal to give up is, and yeah, I'm hurting. But aren't we all hurting about one thing or another right now? Our world has gone to hell in a handbasket, quite literally. And I, we finally have to figure out that we have no control over what's going on in the world. We can vote, we can protest, and we can make our opinions known. But if things don't want to change, they won't. And what's going on in our Canadian government right now is a perfect example. A perfect example of how governments will do whatever they want. And, when 75% of the country says get out, and he doesn't for 8 years, and when he does, they make sure that somebody gets in his place that's not empty-headed, that actually has an evil heart. All right? Trudeau may have been stupid and empty-headed and manipulated easily. But Mark Carney's the kind of guy that does the manipulating. Do you understand? He's scary, right? So we can't, if nothing else I have learned over the past, since Justin Trudeau was voted in, is that we actually have no say over what's going on in the political system here in Canada. None. Or Trudeau would have been out 5 years ago, and we would have had a government in place that listened to the people because Trudeau didn't. And Mark Carney has just been handed the keys to the palace and never even had to ask for them. Oh, it's wrong. It's wrong. Just carry on with our own little bubbles of love ourselves. Hang on, my thing went. And friends and family, what will be, will be. Not all family, not all. This is something, the water of the womb. When next time someone says to you, blood is thicker than water, you tell them, blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb, which is the actual quote, which means the family you choose is actually your family. Oh, I got nausea here. Hang on. I don't know what's going on. I've been having bouts of nausea, and they're coming more and more often. So not nausea like I'm going to throw up, but yeah. Where you get that water pooling in your mouth and your stomach goes, ooh, but there's really nothing in there. It's been going on with me. And I don't know what it is. And that's one of the reasons I'm always drinking tea. Because it goes away once I put something in my mouth. Congratulations. I'm expecting, all right. Expecting a miracle. But if nothing else, right? If the Liberal government gets in again, it's going to be, to me, proof positive. If we even have an election, we don't even know if there's going to be an election. He may decide to stay in prime minister for 4 years without calling an election. And here's the real scary part. The Liberal Party, the Green Party, and the NDP are working on a coalition to keep the Conservatives out of government, to keep them out of government. It's crazy here. That's right. Well, I don't know, Phoebe. Alberta's like the only place left in Canada we'd actually think of going. We look at Alberta as the Texas of Canada. This is Canada, right? So if we did, yeah, it was selection, not election. It was like, I saw this post, Mark Carney got in by a landslide. No, he friggin' didn't. He got in by a landslide of Liberal Party. The Liberal Party members voted him in as Liberal Party leader, not us. Hey, Kimmy girl. Well, if the Liberal Party gets in, we just might sell everything, pack our motorhome, and head on out. Moving on up. That's why my daughter and I are planning on going back to Belleville. Oh, wow. Hey, Kimmy girl. So, I mean, and Howie and I, let's move to Russia. because we've watched a lot of stuff on Russia. Russia's a beautiful place. Very, very much like Canada is Russia. But yeah, I'm not good with languages, and you'd have to. The only requirement that they give you to become a citizen of Russia, like to move there and assimilate into Russia, is that you have 6 months to learn the language, to learn the language enough to be useful to yourself. You know what I mean? Hey, Grandpa Paul! Well, see, that's the thing. You know, I can't believe it actually worked. I can't believe it actually worked. So we are at a point in our political history that nobody even really knows what's going on. This is unprecedented as far as I know. If you know of this happening any other time in Canadian history, please let me know. Weed's not legal there. In the States, it isn't. That's right. That's right. My boat all sorted and secure. It's getting rough. Yep. Yep. It is. And you got to remember, we've been talking about this for a long time, and everything we've talked about has actually happened. Trudeau managed to stay longer in Parliament than his father, I believe, doing nothing except line his pockets and line the pockets of his friends and family, and then put somebody in his place to make sure the rest of the money gets sent everywhere but into Canadian pockets. Mark Carney. We've been watching a Canadian family of 9 move to Russia. Very happy there. It's happening worldwide. USA got very blessed by Trump in office. Oh, yeah, you're lucky they did. Okay? We need a Trump. But the Canadian government is going to do everything they can to stop Pierre Poilievre from becoming prime minister. Pierre Poilievre is pro-Canadian. Pierre Poilievre is pro-Canadian business. Pierre Poilievre is pro-axing the tax. Now, everybody, I got to say this. Mark Carney saying, everybody's going, yay! He said, we're going to get rid of the carbon tax and we're going to put it on blah, 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 blah. He's never going to get rid of the carbon tax. Only the carbon tax as it stands now. It's going to get worse if he stays. Mark Carney has been heard and quoted as saying that he thinks the carbon tax should be more. So what he's going to do is, if he stays, he's going to flip it all around and repackage it and put lipstick on the same pig and sell it to you as the next top model. That's actually really well said. Oh, yeah, I know. Well, you know what, Jack? Axe the plastic ban. I think that's, and if you take it as it says, axe the plastic ban, that could be taken the wrong way. What I think Jack means is we got to stop banning grocery bags when people then have to go out and buy garbage bags. And the reusable grocery bags, once they're ripped, tattered, torn, or no longer usable, one of those plastic recycled grocery bags is worth about 40 of the kind you used to get in the grocery store. Who bans straws, plastic straws, and then gives you an ice cap with a plastic lid and a plastic cup but a paper straw? Like, it just shows that nobody's doing anything that makes any sense. Jack is happy guy 123. What can be unburdened by what has been? Boy, did we dodge a bullet. Oh, yeah. No kidding. Anyway, I'm going to go and do my Patreon live now with my patrons. And I just wanted to say, um, I have been on mood disorder meds for 32 years. Now, that does not mean I'm level all the time. What it does mean is that when stress and emotional situations come, they don't drive me into the ground, right? I'm still going to have emotional responses. I'm still going to have bad days. I'm just going to have them like normal people do. That's what my medication does for me, okay? Yesterday was a really bad day. And I want to thank you guys for lifting me up and supporting me and loving me through what I'm going through. And I am so happy that she's laying on her blanket, covered by one of Daddy's flannel shirts, having a snooze. She ate probably the amount of a 1-inch pork loin chop last night. Not last night. Was it last night? Yes, it was. Dinner. Anyway. And as long, I won't force her to eat now. Food is available on a plate. She's got a can of dog food. If she asks for something, I'll give it to her. I will. If I'm taking a bite of cheese, I'll offer her a piece. I'll offer her anything, but I won't force it on her now. Okay. And we're just loving her. You know, we're just keeping her close, and we'll say goodbye this weekend. You will know when it's time. She's already told us, folks. Like the other night when when she was freaking out and I finally got her into bed and she slept with me and I actually slept and stuff. Howie asked her, "Do you want to go tonight?" And he put his hand, this is the language. "Do you want to go tonight?" And she went like that, and that's no. But if she had went like this, it would have been yes. Our dogs talk to us. People have a tendency to think babies and dogs and pets have no understanding. They are sentient beings, right? Me too, Laura. Me too. I mean, I have to credit a lot of my growth and my spiritual growth, my mental growth, my emotional growth to you folks. Because, there's a lot of people who think I'm absolutely nuts and crazy and disgusting and whatever the bitch factory does. I really don't care. But for every one of them, there's 100 of you that are here and supporting me and being exactly who I need to be, whatever that is at any time. And I wish I could do more for you, right? Because you've only got one of me, but we also have each other. You guys have each other too, right? Hey, Jenny is sliding down, but still eating and drinking, though not much. She's 18. When she's ready, we'll let her go. Well, if I have, Molly, if I have done anything, if I have helped somebody, if I have helped make somebody feel loved or important or valid, then that's all I ask. And that's all I need, right? Who says we can't be the family that we have chosen to be? Right? We send each other Christmas cards with our seeds in them. We've sent each other recipes. We decorate trees together. We dance and sing together. I dare anybody to call this not a valid community. Right? Hey, Night Owl, how's it going? You are such a kind and loving person. That is why what we see. You do a lot for us just by supporting all of us. I wasn't always, well, okay. I've always been kind and loving. but I've always had my mother's passion for justice. And that has interfered a lot in when I come up against a situation that needs me to be calm. In the past, I haven't been able to be, right? Because the emotions come on like a tsunami. Well, they still do, but here's what happens. Instead of me being hit by a tsunami, I've got like 10, 15, 20, 30 of you people. How many people are here? 98 people right now standing up and putting dividers in front of me so that when the tsunami hits, I only get hit with a doorway of water and everything else goes past. That's kind of what you do for me, because you guys are my breakwater. You're my family, you know? The blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. Remember that. Because we've made a covenant, haven't we? Not everybody here wants to be here. Not everybody here wants to be a part of my life. Not everybody here even likes me. Or maybe I'll say something that'll go, okay, you've said far too much. I'm done. Bye-bye. Right? Well, I hope if you do leave, then you leave knowing that you're loved and that, up until that point, I hope I helped you with something. We have a Mastiff Lab Cross. He's 8. Ooh, Mastiff Lab Cross. Wow, he's like at Gracie stage, not Gracie stage, but in age, he's an old gentleman, but still doing okay. But yes, big dogs and certain ones age faster. Yeah, and Gracie's not a big dog. Like I always say, someday maybe I'll have another boxer. And then I look at Gracie and she's a tiny boxer. She's like a cross between a Boston Terrier and a boxer. That's about her size. Thank you, Phoebe. Standing in the gap. Thank you. I didn't know that's what it was called. What it was called. But if nothing else, we just, get to come in here and talk and be heard, right? Thank you, Phoebe. You and this chat have gotten me through the past 4 years. You got yourself through that. You allowed us to love you through it. There's a difference. We didn't do anything but love you, Joe, and lift you up and support you and pray for you. That's what this community does. Sometimes we get angry over injustices, all kinds of stuff. But love is always going to be and is always and will always be the answer. We just have to remember what real love is. It's not what we've been brainwashed to believe love is. Right? One of my favorite lines in the movie, Yours, Mine, and Ours, with Henry Fonda and Lucille Ball. And Lucille Ball is on her 19th child. And she's in labor. And her daughter is making out with a guy downstairs. And her stepbrother comes in. And they get into a fight and all this stuff. And so there's this whole big brouhaha with, running over the guy's motorcycle, trying to get the car out of the driveway and all that stuff. But in the meantime of all this chaos, Henry Fonda and the redheaded Lucille Ball's daughter, are talking past her. They're helping her down the stairs. And he's going, she's talking about, well, he says that everybody does it and la, 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 la. And he goes, well, if everybody does it, then they weren't doing it when I was there, when I was that age. He said, Fanny Hill was written in the 1700s. Give it a read. Man hasn't changed at all. He'll do or say anything, pretty much. He said, look at your mother. And she goes, not now, because she's in labor. He said, yes, now. This is love. This is being there. This is ground round instead of roast beef. This is Band-Aids and whatever it was. He gave her this whole talk. And by the end of it, when they finally get Lucille Ball in the car and they get her boyfriend's bike pried out from under it, he said, wow, they're acting like it was their first. And she looked at him and said, get a haircut. The girlfriend did. And it was like, yes, that is what love is. Love is like, I've often told my kids, okay, this is love for me, all right? I will love my children. I love my family. I don't talk to some of my family. I don't even like some of my family. I don't like the way I've been treated by some of my family. Doesn't stop me from loving them. What it did stop me from was allowing the behavior to continue. Okay? So, love doesn't mean you have to put up with shit. That's so stupid. Anybody that says they love you and treats you like crap doesn't love you. They'll make excuses like, oh, it's for your own good. You need to hear this and la, 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 la. No, I don't. I'm quite fine. Right? Love is letting being okay with my husband moving into a basement bedroom because I have insomnia, arthritis, and fibromyalgia, and insomnia, and I don't sleep like everybody else. And if I'm tossing, turning, getting up and down with a bladder, right? He's not resting. And this man has, he's 58. He's got 7 more years of work before he can retire. And in that 7 years, we're going to be debt free. So for both of us to get as much restorative sleep as we can, we love each other enough to have separate bedrooms. That doesn't mean we don't love each other. It means we do. Right? Hey, Missy Royer! Wasn't George Carlin the truck driver? In what? In what? What truck driver? What movie's that? So, I guess what I'm saying, I don't know. I have it on DVD, but I think I've broken it. You can't remake some of these old movies and make them better. Like, look at Cheaper by the Dozen. Cheaper by the Dozen, and the new Cheaper by the Dozen and the new Yours, Mine, and Ours may as well be made by the same people, same actors, everything. But the original Cheaper by the Dozen was amazing. It was amazing. I do believe I have it. The Ghost and Mrs. Muir. I love that movie. But here's what I'm worried about. With everything becoming digital, right? We've gotten rid of the VCRs and the DVD. Well, a lot of people have gotten rid of VCRs, DVDs. And then why bother? We got Netflix, we got Prime. But now they're starting to charge, aren't they? I pay Netflix every month, but because I pay the minimum, I have to, watch like 10 commercials throughout a movie. So we're back to square one where we're paying for our movies and still getting commercials. Television hasn't changed all that much. It's just come full circle. I'm really grateful I have a lot of DVDs. I'm really grateful I have a DVD player. I miss the fact that I wish I had, but we have moved a few times, so I haven't been able to save all of my, I had probably 3 big bins of VHS movies, right? But now you try and find all these old movies. They're nowhere to be found. It's like they're wiping them out. So I'm on the hunt for old movies on DVD for my, or Blu-ray, because we went from VCRs. That was a big thing because you could record TV and everything. And then we went to DVD players and then Blu-ray players, and now everything's digital. Right? You don't own anything. I have to set boundaries with my family too. They can make you miserable if you don't. Well, yeah. and there's some family people who don't think boundaries exist, right? There's no boundaries when they want to attack you, but if they don't like what you say, then they put up boundaries. That's wrong. That's absolutely wrong. If there are people in my life that I have had struggling relationships with my entire life, and at 61 years old, I don't feel that I should put up with it anymore. I should have thought about this 20 years ago. But guess what? I've lost 5 pounds. See, I didn't lose the weight in the summer that I was supposed to because I wasn't working as hard because I couldn't. And then I added weight on this winter. And when I went to the doctor, she said, no, you've been the same weight, Bev, for 4 years. Because I said, she said, what's your weight? And I told her, and I weighed myself while I was there. And my scale in here is correct. And I told her roughly because they measure in kilograms. And I said about, 3, normally this time of year, I'm about 320. And then I go down to about 305 in the summertime because I'm working and sweating and stuff and swimming and stuff. And in the winter, I gained back 10 pounds. Well, I didn't get a lot lost this summer. And this winter's been rough. But just in the last couple of days, since I've been to the doctor, I've lost 5 pounds. And I honestly think it's because I'm just letting go of a lot of stuff. And I'm not, it's like my insomnia. Not everything works for people the way it's supposed to. Like Howie's saying, well, yeah, it doesn't have to be nasty. But when people are toxic, right? And if they don't talk to you for 2 years and then approach you with something toxic, it is your right to say, you don't have any right to talk to me that way. You have no right to speak to me that way or treat me that way. Right? And that's it. And they should respect that. But you're my family. No, you're not. I didn't choose you. I had no choice. We do not choose the family we are born into. We're really lucky if it ends up to be a loving family, loving and supportive family. But not everybody's that lucky. The Durrell series. Eleanor Roosevelt said, no one can make you feel bad without your permission. She's right. No, and it goes along with the same way as nobody can hurt you unless you let them. Right? Right? For instance, I had to cut off contact. Well, contact was cut off from me. Then I was judged over it. And then I was sat in a jury box. Not really. And then I was judged again. And never once was my opinion asked. Never once was I asked what actually happened or what I meant or how I felt. I got judged. I don't have to live with that. Somebody who doesn't know me, somebody who doesn't really know me, but is born to family by blood, thinks they have the right to judge me. That they judge me more than they would a stranger on the street because I am family. Not happening. I don't have to live with that, right? And other people's feelings are not my responsibility. That's right. That's right. So I can emote with you. If you're sad, I can try and lift you up. We can help each other to lift each other up. And if only to be heard by somebody that's not going to judge us. right? My speech is starting to be affected by my tooth loss, folks. This little tooth missing means I'm going to start sounding like I want Vanessa but Christmas. You know what I mean? So I've got to go. I've got to do my, I've actually got to get supper started, and I'm going to do my Patreon live stream at 5 o'clock. So I got to get off here. I got to go get supper started. I never elaborated, but you have carried me through some dark hours. Thank you, Missy, but I didn't. I didn't carry you through anything. How could I? I was unaware of it. But if anything I have said or the evidence of my caring has helped you through a rough time, then thank you, God. Then my purpose for sitting in front of this camera with my teeth falling out, sounding like a raving lunatic, then it's been worth it. It's been worth it to be judged. It's been worth it, because all we want really is to be wanted, needed, and loved. We all want to be wanted, needed, and loved and appreciated. And if someone gives you that love, but they don't need you, they don't appreciate you, then that love is less than. Do you understand? It's not a fullness of love. Hey, Teresa, I'm sorry, honey. I got to go. I got to go start dinner, and then I'm going to be doing my, should I do meatloaf like that? I haven't decided how I'm going to do it. Absolutely, Kel. Absolutely. Well, listen, folks, I got to go. Patrons, I will see you in about a half an hour to 45 minutes. I've got to go get supper started, and then we'll come into Patreon and we'll talk. I love you guys, and I have to keep saying it. I don't want it to end up being like a slogan or anything like that, but I need you to hear it until you believe it. I don't have to see you to love you. My heart sees you, and my heart loves you, okay? And I love all the people that have hurt me. Just because someone has hurted me or treated me like shit or treated me less than doesn't mean I don't love them. It just means I don't have to like them. Just because someone is related to me by blood, if they treat me like shit, it doesn't mean I have to accept that. Right? I don't have to accept anybody. Being related to somebody by blood does not give them the right to treat you like crap. So, when I say my heart sees you, it's true. I only see a little thumbnail and the words on a screen. All right? But the energy that you send them through with, I pick up on. And I love you. I love you. Don't have to see you. Don't have to even know you. Love is a blanket that can cover everybody. And nobody taught us that more than Christ himself. He brought us the ultimate commandment. Love one another. But we, as we age, know that love, as we've been sold it, with hearts and roses and chocolates, and the love that's ground round instead of roast beef are two totally different kinds of love. You're my ground round. Take care. God bless. Patrons, I'll see you in a half an hour to 45 minutes. I love you guys. Never forget that. Poke, poke.